Smoothie, a real man's drink. If that real man is Clay Aiken. Whoa, caught that. Okay, I'm not reviewing a Japanese show, which I wanted to do, but there wasn't any new ones of any significance. So instead, I'm going to review a WWE show and an ROH show. These were just things that you know I had to watch. So people said I had to anyway. So we'll start off with Elimination Chamber from WWE. Alberto Del Rio comes out, cuts a promo. Fans are garbage. Kofi's trash. It's his destiny to win at WrestleMania and become the greatest of all time. It's good stuff. Ricardo Rodriguez is always good. Adding stuff into Del Rio's introductions every time. It's never the same. So that's pretty funny. Kofi comes out obviously offended. He's hot. So yeah, these two go at it. A lot of innovative stuff. Well, definitely for WWE. Both guys looked really good. No botching. Kofi's on top of his game. Didn't look like a joke. Del Rio looked great, of course. Just a lot of good offense. You can tell these guys are students of the game. They do their homework. Different styles from all over the world. You don't get a lot of that in WWE now. So yeah, this is a really good match. Del Rio won with the rolling cross arm breaker, Jujigatami. Just really good stuff. I think it's strong like 73%, which is pretty good. You couldn't have had a hotter opener. But then we had an Elimination Chamber match for the WWE Championship. This should have been the main event. It's not even it just should have. It's Edge, the champion, versus Rey Mysterio versus Drew McIntyre versus Kane versus Big Show versus Wade Barrett. I get this at like 79, 80%, like 4 stars. And then you had the two strongest guys start, Mysterio and Edge. They had some good stuff going on. Started out really fast and furious. You had Kane there. I don't know. He was really good, but he was only in there for like 10 minutes, I think. The first one eliminated was probably the weakest link in the match, Wade Barrett. Definitely the weakest link. People give him a lot of praise, but in the ring, he's just... a lot of people think he just started out, but he's actually been wrestling for a while, so he may always be that green, which is not good. The Big Show gets out, destroys everyone. Ends up getting hit with every finishing move, the same way he always gets eliminated. I don't know. It was alright. I got this backwards. Kane was eliminated after Big Show because he eliminated Big Show. Yeah, Edge did a Liger bomb on Rey, and there's a bunch of cool stuff. At one point, Rey goes for his like West Coast pop. Then Kane has him hanging upside down, kind of, about the power bomb. Edge spears them both, pins Kane. And then it's down to just Rey and Edge. It's really good. I didn't even mention Drew McIntyre. He was good in that match. Looked better than Big Show and Kane. Yeah, Edge and Mysterio had like the last 5 minutes was the best thing on this show. Your winner is still World Heavyweight Champion Edge, the midair spear of Rey. It's just like the only way you can have a match between those two now. Then we have the WWE Tag Team Championships. The Corre with 2 R's, not even a fucking word. The Wendy's girl, Heath Slater, and Justin Gabriel, the talented member of the Corre, the only talented member, with Ezekiel No Talent Jackson against Santino Marella, who can actually wrestle and is funny, and Vladmir Kozlov, who, he's better than the other members of the Corre besides Gabriel. I don't know. Gabriel and Santino, clearly the superior wrestlers, started out quick. It was them for most of the time. Slater got in, bored the matchup a little bit. I don't know. Slater needs to head back to development with Barrett, and Jackson just needs to retire. So Gabriel can shine, decent but short match, served its purpose. Okay, so now Vicky Guerrero comes out. Honestly, I hit mute. She's horrible. She's only over because she's so annoying it's unbearable. And she's ugly. Ugly people aren't usually over. Not WWE. You know, Blake Cool comes out. I don't know. I think there's an argument between Vicky and Kelly, worst name ever. So, yeah, Trish comes out in like 9-inch heels and kicks the shit out of Blake Cool, which is totally awesome. Making all the women's wrestlers in WWE look bad, except for like Beth Phoenix, Gail Kim, and Talia. Then we had our WWE Championship, Jerry the King Lawler, the challenger versus The Miz. This was really good, like 72% for me. Lawler showed up and put on a better performance in his 60s than Hogan ever did in his 40s, so yeah. Emotional match, made but The Miz also looked credible. King looked good. Looked like he actually had a chance. Great showing for both guys. There was a very brief mention in this, right before the main event, that Booker T was still in fighting condition, and he almost like challenged Cole to get in the ring. So I'm thinking what they should do, hopefully they'll do, instead of doing Lawler versus Michael Cole, they'll do Lawler and Booker T versus Michael Cole and Jack Swagger. I think that'd be a good idea. It would actually make it a good wrestling match, somewhat. And people want to see Booker T. He gets louder pops than most wrestlers, so and he's a commentator now. Okay, Elimination Chamber match for a shot at the WWE Championship at Mania 27. Punk versus Cena versus Orton versus King Sheamus versus Randy Orton versus Morrison versus R-Truth. I got this about 70%. It was kind of stupid in the way it was run. Punk was eliminated in the first 30 seconds because Orton jumped him in the cage, malfunctioned. Got RKO, general manager restarted it. I thought for a while that WWE doesn't actually have a general manager and they're just not creative enough to come up with one, so they have to keep them anonymous until they come up with something. Oh, yeah. R-Truth eliminated quickly. I don't know. John Morrison was good in this. I think Sheamus was the MVP up until he was eliminated by Morrison. We did this spot where he climbed up on the inside to like the roof, hung down and splashed a standing Sheamus. Morrison then became the MVP. You know, he did a lot of crazy stuff. Did this chuck kick and just some crazy parkour stuff. And, I don't know, Punk looked alright. Punk eliminates Morrison immediately after Cena eliminates him. So basically, like all the other chamber matches Cena's won, with maybe there's only one other match, he swoops in when everyone else did all the work for him. I don't actually think that makes him look like Superman. I think it makes him look like just getting by the skin of his teeth. I don't really like that shit. Yeah, so I got 70%. The show overall about 7 out of 10. I'd recommend you check it out if you like WWE. It's better than anything TNA's put out in a long time. I don't know if they'll ever put out something good again though. So. Okay, then we have ROH Tag Title Classics 2. We started off with Kenny King and Adam Cole. It's a good opener, about 60%. Just two young guys showing what they got. Just going at it. It could have been better, but shit, it's an opener. It's what you want as your opener. Then we had Colt Cabana versus the Prodigy, Mike Bennett. It's about 40%. The match didn't really do anything. The finish was beyond ridiculous. Fucking brutal love. You know, Cabana did what he could with Bennett. I'm not even convinced that Bennett's a bad wrestler. Just, I don't know. He's no fucking Christopher Daniels or Eddie Edwards. But then we had Trial Series Match 5 for Andy Right Leg Ridge versus Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels. It's about 60%. Almost 100% because of Daniels. You know, he made Ridge look really good. I like Ridge, but he's too kicky. I think he should be a tag wrestler. He's just too skinny to be believable as a guy who knocks everyone out with his feet. Or shins. Because that's what you get with your shin. He needs to evolve his moveset a little bit. One day he could be television champion, certainly tag team champion with a powerhouse partner. Then we had a pick your poison rematch between the Briscoes, Jay and Mark, versus Kevin Steen and Steve Corino. I get this about 67%. It's a really fun, solid wrestling match. Finishing stretch was, good. But then we had a four-corner survival match, Rhett Titus versus El Generico versus Grizzly Redwood versus Ricky Reyes. Now, the crowd was shitting all over Reyes, but to be fair, it's pretty fucking boring most of the time, so he had to prove that he wasn't. Yeah, he did alright. Grizzly was definitely the MVP of this match, Grizz. Then being the night before final battle, Generico couldn't be like the regular Generico, so he was aggressive and he picked up the win with a Yakuza kick and a brainbuster, but he wasn't like trying to be a star performer because that would have been stupid. Just forgetting about the Steen feud the day before it happens. But then we had up to this point, like the match of the night, Kyle O'Reilly versus TJ Perkins. I give this like 75% at least. I love the UWFI Japanese junior hybrid style of wrestling. Perkins locked in this sick modified sharpshooter that I've only ever seen him use. I think, pretty good. Just the chain, the other moves, and the scrambles, and the submissions and counter submissions, and just the counter pins, all that stuff. Just great stuff. Sped up near the end. Got a little spotty, USA indie style, but it was still really good. Then we had a surprising match, Roderick Strong versus Sanjay Dutt, which had about 62%. Maybe it's a little better. This is supposed to be a Kenny Omega versus Strong, which would have probably been like the second best match of the night. But this was nowhere near as good as that, but it was still very good. Sanjay surprised me. Looked too competitive though. There's a point when he should have been finished off. It shouldn't take like 3 finishing type moves to finish off a guy who isn't even a regular. Anyway, and he's against the champion. But then we had the main event for the Ring of Honor World Tag Team titles. The Dream Match, Dream Tag, Kings of Wrestling, Hero and Castagnoli versus the American Wolves, Edwards and Richards. I get this like 82%. Some people got higher. Was it overkill? Sure. Was it fun as hell? Sure was. Elbows, kicks, head drops, near falls galore. Just darn great match. I don't know. It seemed more like 4 individual stars, although they're the biggest stars in the company and the best. It didn't seem like they were a tag team until maybe the last 10-15 minutes. The match definitely went a little long. You don't have to go long to be epic. This could have went just like 25 minutes and would have been perfect, but it went like almost 40, so still very good. Overall, I give the show I guess I give it a 7 out of 10 because there wasn't really anything bad past the second match. The first match was good. Everything else was really good besides Bennett versus Cabana. And it's not Cabana's fault. Cabana's good. Alright, next time I'll review something that I want to review more. I watched these 2 things. It's like, I gotta review them, right? And, a lot of fans are gonna want to see this. So, everyone, take it easy. Hopefully there's more, I can have more good Japanese and booking videos. I'll wait until other people bring ideas across and then kind of, if there's a booking challenge or something anywhere, I'll just kind of make like my own thing. Maybe even a response. Here's to good ideas and Japanese wrestling.